Dear friends, today we are going to deal with the topic gene transfer techniques. The gene transfer techniques are widely used in genetic engineering. The genetic engineering is also known as genetic manipulation or genetic modifications, or it is also known as recombinant DNA technology. Here, it is a direct manipulation of organisms' gene using biotechnology. The genetic engineering or a recombinant DNA technology is a set of techniques that enables the DNA from the different sources to be identified, isolated, and recombined so that new characters can be introduced into an organism. Or it is a set of techniques that used to change the genetic makeup of cells, including the transfer of genes within or across the species boundaries to produce novel or improved organism. In this way, simply the recombinant DNA technology is the way in which the genetic material from one organism is artificially introduced into the genome of other organisms and then replicated and expressed by that other organism. Now, what is gene transfer? This gene transfer is a transfer of a gene from one DNA to another DNA molecule, or it is also defined as a technique to efficiently and stably introduce a foreign gene into the genome of target cell. Now, what is genetic transformation? Transformation is a process of introduction of foreign DNA or the exogenous DNA into a suitable organism. It is usually a bacterium. Now, genetic transformation is a process by which the genetic material is carried by an individual cell is altered by the incorporation of foreign or the exogenous DNA into its genome and its subsequent integration and expression into the genome of target cell is referred to as genetic transformation. Therefore, the transferred gene is known as a transgene, and the organism which has been developed after the successful transfer of a gene is known as transgenic organism. Now, what is transgene? Transgene is a foreign gene or it is an exogenous DNA sequence that leads to the formation of an transgenic organism. Therefore, to add a desired trait or character to a crop, the foreign gene encoded by a trait must be inserted into that crop. Therefore, for successful integration and expression, a transgene should possess some specific components. They are a promoter sequence. Promoter sequence are nothing but the DNA sequences that determines where and when the inserted gene is expressed in the host organism. Transgene, it is the actual gene of interest that has to be inserted. A termination sequence, that is the sequence to signal the end of the gene, and a selectable marker gene that allows to identify or select the successful transformed cell or tissues, or it allows to identify which plant contain the inserted gene by screening or selection. Therefore, all together these components form a complete insert that has to be inserted into the host organism. Now, what is transgenesis? Transgenesis is a process of transferring or expressing a gene into a non-native organism, or simply it is the uptake of foreign DNA by the host organism. Now, what is transgenic plant? Transgenic plants are those plants whose genome is altered by adding one or more genes that are known as transgenic plants. The transgenic plants are also the plants whose DNA is modified by using gene transfer techniques. The aim is to produce a new character into the plants which cannot occur naturally in that species. Therefore, a transgenic plant contains a gene or a genes that have artificially inserted into the host organism. Therefore, this inserted sequence of a gene is known as a transgene. Therefore, this transgene may come from unrelated species or from the totally different species. Is this process provides the advantages like high yield, improved quality, pest resistance, tolerance to the salt, heat, or drought, or sometimes it may provide the tolerance to the biotic or abiotic stresses. Therefore, the whole process of transgenic plant development, it involves introduction, integration, and expression of foreign gene into the host plant is known as genetic transformation. Therefore, this combined use of recombinant DNA technology, gene transfer methods, and tissue culture techniques that has led to the efficient transformation and the production of transgenic plants. Now, let us move towards the methods of gene transfer. These methods of gene transfer into the plant cell has categorized into three types: physical methods of gene transfer, chemical methods of gene transfer, and the biological method of a gene transfer. The physical method of a gene transfer and the chemical method of a gene transfer are also referred to as vectorless gene transfer or direct gene transfer. Vectorless gene transfer is the introduction of a foreign DNA into the host organism without the involvement of a biological agent such as agrobacterium, and leading to the stable transformation is known as vectorless gene transfer. Whereas the biological method of a gene transfer is also known as vector mediated gene transfer or indirect gene transfer. Here it involves the introduction of a foreign DNA into the host organism with the aid of a vector or the biological agent is known as vector mediated gene transfer. In this technique, the gene of interest is carried over to the target cell by using a molecular vehicle called vector. Now, what is the physical method of gene transfer? The physical methods of a gene transfer are electroporation, microinjection, gene gun method, and liposuction. In this topic, in this way, we have physical, chemical, and the biological methods of a gene transfer to the plant cell. Now, in this lecture, we are going to study one of the physical method of a gene transfer, that is electroporation. Electroporation is sometimes it may be defined as the electrical method of gene transfer. It is specifically for protoplast. Electroporation is a mechanical method used for the introduction of polar molecules or the DNA into the host cell through the cell membrane. This method was first demonstrated by the Wong and Newman in 1982 to study the gene transfer in mouse cell. It is widely used method for the introduction of a transgene either stably or transiently into the bacterial, fungal, plant, and the animal cell. It involves the use of large electric pulses that temporarily disrupts the phosphobilipid layer, allowing the passage of polar molecules such as DNA. Now, there are the two systems of electroporation. The first, low voltage long pulse method. The intensity of the electric pulses ranges from 300 to 400 volts per centimeter for 10 to 50 milliseconds. Whereas second, the high voltage short pulse method. The intensity of electric pulses, it ranges from 1000 to 1500 volts per centimeter for 10 microseconds. Here, this low voltage long pulse method, it induces the high rate of transient transformation, whereas the high voltage short pulse method, it induces or it gives a high rate of stable transformation. Therefore, these electric pulses of intensity in the volts per centimeter or or of duration from milliseconds to microseconds causes a transient or temporary loss of semi-permeability of the membrane, thus leading to the ion exchange, escape of molecular metabolites, intake of drugs, polar molecules, then molecular markers or DNA by the cells. Now, what is the mechanism of this electroporation? As we all know that the cell is a sheet-like assembly of amphipathic molecule that separates the cell from the exterior environment. Due to the amphipathic nature of phospholipid bilayer of the plasma membrane, the polar molecules such as DNA and the protein are unable to freely pass through the membrane. Thus, to overcome this problem, various physical or the mechanical methods have been employed. Now, what is the basis of this electroporation? The electroporation is based on relatively weak nature of phospholipid bilayer and hydrophilic interaction of phospholipid bilayer and its ability to spontaneously reassemble after the disturbance. Thus, a quick voltage shock may cause a temporary or the transient disruption of areas of the membrane and allow the passage of polar molecules. Thus, after the passage of polar molecules, the membrane reassemble or reseal, leaving the cell intact afterwards. Now, there are three steps in electroporation techniques. The first, pore formation, pore expansion and membrane recovery. The pore formation. Here the cell membrane is responded by forming the pores due to the induced threshold potential. Pore size is expanded depending upon the pulse duration. And third, membrane is recovered and the pores are resealed after the discharge of cell membrane and the entry of polar molecules into the cell. Now, let's see what is the actual procedure of electroporation. Here in this diagram you can see that during the electroporation a plant cell or the protoplast is placed in a medium containing the DNA to be transferred, that is recombinant DNA. When the pulse of high voltage electricity is applied to the plant cell surface, then this electric pulse disturbs the phospholipid bilayer of the membrane and causes a temporary pore formation on the membrane. As the DNA molecules enters through the pores into the cell, then the membrane discharges and the pores get resealed and the membrane reassemble again. In this way, we can successfully transfer the DNA from the medium into the cell. Now, what are the applications of this technique? Here, this technique has been used to deliver the DNA into both the intact cells or tissues. Second, electroporation can be used to increase the efficiency of transformation or transfection of bacterial cell. Third, the efficiency of transformation, it depends upon the plant material, electroporation method and the tissue treatment condition used for transformation. Fourth, the technique has been used to produce stably transformed cell lines or several plant species. For example, wheat, maize, rice, tobacco, petunia, etc. Here it is also used to study the transient expression of molecular construct. In medical field, it has been used to study gene therapy, chemotherapy and thermodermal drug delivery. Now this method has some advantages as well as disadvantages. The advantages are it is highly versatile and effective for nearly all cell types and species. It is highly efficient method as the majority of cell take in the target DNA molecules. It can be performed at a small scale and only a small amount of DNA is required as compared to the other methods. Whereas the disadvantage is the cell damage. That is one of the limitation of this method, which is caused by the irregular intensity pulses resulting in the formation of two large pores which fails to close after membrane discharge. Second, it may leads to non-specific transport, which may result in an ion imbalance causing the cell improper functioning and obviously death. In this way, we have been studied how there is a transfer of DNA from the medium into the cell by the electroporation method. Thank you.